how do you build a compelling backstory for your character within a scene? That's a big question that a lot of people ask, and I know that I had that question for a really long time. This is how you do it, actually. Okay, so this is a part of the actor's algorithm, and this is because backstory. Now, it's going to be more like because backstory slash context, and you'll see what I mean here in just a second. So you're going to ask yourself a specific question. Now, if you haven't watched the action statement, if you haven't watched the first video that talks about the actor's algorithm, then I recommend you watch that. But so you're going to be asking that action statement, or you're going to be creating that action statement in the form of what we have here. So running frantically back into the ocean. Now, there is no frantically in this because we are only asking, why am I present participle preposition identified noun? You don't know what that means yet. Don't worry, you will soon. You're going to be grateful that you do. Whenever you ask this really simple sentence, which is, why am I running back into the ocean? Okay, why am I running back into the ocean? That's going to be described by because backstory. Now, the backstory that we've built here is specifically based on the 5 different steps that give you 4 sentences. And the backstory, whenever you're first starting out, you don't have to use this system. You can honestly just go with what your gut tells you because you can create that on the fly. And if you are working on a set, the best thing you can do is go with your instincts. You'll know, you need to have this kind of ingrained within you as far as just going with it. Because if I'm getting ready for the scene to start and I'm in the moment and I've built everything for this and I know that my action statement is running frantically back into the ocean, that's what I'm going into. So with this backstory, let's say if we're going with our gut, the backstory would be, you'd start from the top. I decided to take my family to the ocean and on a Saturday to relax. It's a hot day, so we're only going to stay for half the day. We get there, we had a blast. Halfway through, I got really hot, so I went and jumped in the ocean. And then we decided, okay, well, we're going to pack up and go and try and get home. Had some plans that evening, or have some plans for the evening. And I break everything down, and then I check my backpack to find the car key, and I can't find the car key. And the last place I remember having it was in my pocket right before I went into the ocean. And it's at that moment that I realize the car key is not in my pocket, and it's now possibly in the ocean. And so this is going to be what we're breaking down from that backstory. Now, you can come up with that backstory. I know that you can. You'll have that for every script. That's going to be right before or the events leading up to where you're at right now. And so what you want to do is you want to, first and foremost, this is what we're going to do. We're going to establish the situation. Okay, and the situation is, in this moment, right now, in the now. That's the key. In the now. You don't need to be anywhere else other than the now, because that's how we live. I forgot to take the car key out of my pocket before I went for a swim. That's what I just realized. That is, boom, that's my truth. And then we detail the challenge. The key is tiny and it could be anywhere. So whenever you're thinking of right now, looking out at the ocean, and that key is not in your pocket, and it could be it's out there, right? And you're running out to this ocean to frantically try and find it, right? So then we specify the condition for success. We can leave the beach if I can find the key. That's what it is. If you're ready to go, you're ready to leave, but we can leave the beach if I can find this key. And then we highlight the requirement, right, from what we just built. It's a shiny metal key, and I know I can find it. It's shiny, and I know I can find it. But this is where we introduce the urgency and stakes. Hence, you heard me say, but my spouse and child are out in the sun in the middle of the day. In the middle of the day, right? So this is going to highlight other things that are specific to the script, specific to the moment. And you might have noticed a few of those. So let me give you 2 or 3 that I noticed while saying them. First and foremost, in the highlight the requirement. It's a shiny metal key, and I know I can find it. Well, how do you know you can find it? I know I can find it because the ocean that we are at, the water's clear, right? That's the reason why I feel confident right now, or confident enough to run back towards that ocean and go try to find that key. I believe that that it's in there, and I didn't go very far. It wasn't like I was swimming everywhere. I went and just took a swim. So I know I can find it. And then the introduce this urgency and stakes are, the problem is that my wife and my child are standing out in the sun in the hottest part of the day. I mean, we're talking over 90, over 100, and it's an infant. And you know that they can't be out there that long, and you need to get them to air conditioning. And it's not a quick walk. If you've ever been to the beach, it's a long ways from the beach to any kind of area as it is, and what, you guys are going to split up. So it's a problem. This is now an extremely large problem. So this is causing us, this backstory is the engine that's driving you through the scene. These are the things that you know and instinctively. So this is what's being created for that moment, for us to have that engine of emotion and of being in the scene in a real manner. And the things then that are happening have weight, they have value to you. So you're never empty on set. You're always filled, and that's what's driving you. You can feel that's really driving you. It's extremely important. So now from this, you are going to have what you're convinced of. You're convinced and beliefs. And if you want to learn more about that, then check out this video.